The Buffalo Bills are perennial playoff chokers. It is now official, folks. It's now official. You know, there's a lot of highlight moments, splash plays. It was an entertaining game. But at the end of the day, a football game only matters because of the end result of it. A team is going to win and one team is going to lose. The Buffalo Bills were on the losing end of this game for a varied multitude of reasons. Their defense really was not that good. Their DBs were getting toasted. They couldn't fucking cover anybody. They couldn't generate any sort of pressure on Patrick Mahomes whatsoever. Don't know if it was a scheme thing, a coaching thing, or was a part of the game plan. Just not to get any fucking pressure on Patrick Mahomes basically the entire game. They look like a bunch of bums out there just pretending they know how to rush when they don't. Their pass rush was non-existent. They didn't really bother Mahomes too much in the pocket. They didn't shift him out too much. They didn't make him make his insane plays as frequently. They need to force him to be Superman, and they didn't force him into anything. He just was Patrick Mahomes this game. He was just regular old Patrick Mahomes. You need to force him to not be himself. You need to make him uncomfortable, and they did not make him uncomfortable. That was one of the bigger problems. They made Mahomes just look like $1 billion today. $1 billion. Now, obviously, their idiot kicker missed the last kick of the game. That's sort of what's going to define, that's going to be the dark sort of shadow / cloud that's hanging above this game, for as long as this game is going to be discussed. I don't know if it's, going to be remembered for how hilarious the ending was. Because missing a fucking kick wide right in Buffalo is the most hilarious thing of all time. I don't know why it keeps happening to Buffalo, but quite frankly, I'm quite amused. I'm entertained by this. I know a lot of Bills fans are suffering, which, a lot of fan bases have been through suffering, so I'm not going to throw a pity party and feel bad for Bills fans, because Bills fans really do love to talk their team up like they're the hot shit, like they're the best team in the league every single goddamn year. This is kind of humbling that they deserve, because their team has literally never won a Super Bowl and probably never will under their current tenure and their current regime. I don't think they're going with this coaching staff that they have going. I don't really think that this is a good enough culture to win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that, it's the Josh Allen's fault or it's a coaching thing. I feel like the game plan on both sides of the ball just was not good whatsoever. Offensively, Josh Allen is a gunslinger quarterback. All right, by the way, he played mediocre today. In the clutch, he really folded, man. He got really nervous, you can tell. He was just not hitting his throws. He was not making his reads, not scanning through his progressions, not reading the field well enough. It was obvious. He was hindered by the defense, and he was hindered by the moment. I really feel like Allen is really scared of those big moments. It just shows year by year in the postseason, he's afraid to seize the moment, to make that moment his. And that's a problem with his game. And him missing a lot of receivers on that last drive, it killed them, They could have got a little closer in the field goal range, but that kicker, it's like 43 yards. You should have made that shit. That's a kick you got to make. But back to the sort of coaching staff. This is an established coaching staff. There needs to be changes made, though, because it's obvious with the direction that they're heading, and they're not getting any younger. It's not like their team's getting younger and better. Allen's getting older. Diggs is getting older. Von Miller getting older. Trey White getting older. Poyer getting older. Hyde getting older. All of those superstar players on their team are getting older. It's not like they're getting younger. They have to win a Super Bowl within the next 3 years to prove that this whole sort of experiment was a success. And I don't see a way with the current staff that they have assembled is going to win a Super Bowl championship in the next 3 to 4 to maybe even 5 years. I don't know how that's going to be possible. And Josh Allen has got to step up and make the fucking moment his. He's got to grab it by the balls and say, fuck you, this is my moment. He's got to just establish some authority. He needs to be the leader out there. He can't be curling up into the fetal position, sucking his thumb and crying like a baby when the game is on the line, when it matters the goddamn most in the postseason. He cannot be doing this. This is repeated fucking behavior from Allen. He gets into a big moment and he crumbles. This can't keep happening with Josh Allen. I'm not saying make a change at the quarterback position now. I'm saying if this continues for another 2 to 3 years, you might have to move a different direction, because once again, these players are not going to get younger. They might not even get better. We might be seeing the peak of the Buffalo Bills as a team right now. This might be their peak and we don't even fucking know it. But that's speculation. That's a rumor. We don't know that. But what we do know is this is an aging core of players that want to win a Super Bowl ring. But it's looking super unlikely with the current core players and the regime and the coaching staff that there will be no Super Bowl coming home to Buffalo. There will be no rings. There will be no Lombardi trophy in Buffalo anytime soon. As sad as that is to say, it's honestly just the truth. It honestly is. And I mean, as sad as it is, because Buffalo fans, they've been through goddamn so much. Like, wide right like 8 different times. Choking so much, it's unbelievable. If you're a Buffalo fan, you can't get it out of your goddamn head. It keeps happening. It's just repeating in your head over and over. It's like the worst cycle of events ever is happening repeatedly in Buffalo Bills fans' heads. And they can't get it out of their heads. Because it just happens to them every time. They get their hopes up. They have a decent looking season. They go in the playoffs. They win a game or two. And then they shit their pants. And it's like they're an anti-clutch franchise. They can't get it done when it matters the most. And yes, I know I had a voice crack like a minute earlier, but I don't care. The Buffalo Bills might just be a cursed franchise. I don't know, but in the current direction they're headed, who knows what their future holds. All I know is that they are perennial playoff chokers. And I think there needs to be regime change. There needs to be some coaching staff changes at the end of this season. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.